champion Bryce Shoemaker is going to take the victory, 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes Build Events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Saturday Night Racing League is ready to bring flag-to-flag coverage live here on VSPEED. 2.5 mile, 31 degrees of banking, opened back February 1959. Coming by to lead lap number 1, Jeff Wright by about 0.02 of a second. Gets that lap led. Across the line, Bailey Turner with 2 tires is going to get the victory.
Michael Sturgill is going to steal the win at Kentucky in unbelievable fashion.
All right. Gentlemen, start your
Crossed on the bottom, looking for his first career win on Saturday night. Pushed by Ryan Carlisle. Bailey Turner on the top. At a turn number 4 they come. That's fun. Turner's getting the push. There goes Cabin for the win. He gets blocked below the line. There's contact, but Bailey Turner will cross the line first.
Live from Michigan International, it is the Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors.
Where does Reggie Ortega go? He doesn't dare 4 wide, does he? They're making contact, 24-48. With 3x3 in the turn number 1. There's 5 laps to go.
Jeff Wright's going to benefit from this if he can keep it off the wall.
He went to the middle again. There's no room for it again. That's going to hurt Jeff Wright. Push him up the track. Jeff Wright fades back.
It's over. Jag Klinger's going to claim chase race number 1 from Michigan. Live here tonight on VSPEED. It's the Monster Mile here in Delaware.
Ball hard, no less. These dry mind, no test. These whip glide like
It's a Klinger. Bailey Turner's crash.
The 24 is destroyed in turn 3.
Carlisle and Stravato came together.
And Adam Cabin is checked out. It looks like it's all over. The 17 on this new update finds another way to victory lane. The 17 of Adam Cabin is your winner at Dover.
Oh,
Happy ass got nailed.
And he's still side by side somehow with Bailey Turner. It worked out for him. But Josh Adams trying to do it here at Iowa. This would be his second win of the season. Klinger and Turner side by side for a second. It's going to be a battle to the line, but it's Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Here we go, live from Homestead. It's Saturday Night Racing League, presented by M&J Distributors, Season 4 finale. They're going to go 3 wide for the top spot. Adams dives it to the inside in 3 and 4. Klinger on the high line. Herodes just trying to hold on to it. Off of turn 4, the final time. Ryan Carlisle is going to find his way to victory lane. Bailey Turner holds on to become the 4th champion of the Saturday Night Racing League. Well, there's a recap of last season, and we're transitioning to a brand new car. We've already went 1 week, but now it's mile-and-a-half season as we go on to week number 2. Live here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it is the Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors and season number 5. Finally back up here in the broadcast booth with you, Connor Horn. We've covered 5 great seasons, and we're looking to do it again. Actually, 4 great seasons, and we're looking to do it again with maybe our 5th champion. We got a lot to unpack here from last week.
We certainly do. No surprise, Bailey Turner ends up winning. Another 1-2 finish with him and Adam Cabot at Daytona. Turner's 3rd straight at Daytona. He's trying to become the first not only the first repeat champion, but the first multi-time champion at all. And he's off to a good start, already the points leader after a victory last week. We have a lot of fast drivers. It's still going to be tough. You have Adam Cabot. Maybe he's not full-time, but he'll contend for wins when he's here. Reggie Ortega had a great run last week. Jeremy Miller, if he's full-time, who knows what he could do, even though he doesn't have a charter. Mahalski, Sweeting, Joe McWhorter's back. He's trying to become the first multi-time champion. And Bryce Calusa's back, and he almost stole the win at Daytona last week. There's a lot of drivers that are going to try to get that 5th different title.
And we looked at the points there. It was the tail end of last season, so I'm not going to bring that graphic up. But Bailey Turner clutches it, just had to get a decent finish, and he becomes the 4th champion. Now back-to-back at Daytona to start the season off. Here's a look at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, opened March 30th, 1996. This 1.5-mile oval has 20 degrees of banking. It's similar to Homestead. The banking was changed somewhere later in its inaugural race, and wasn't very long that the cookie-cutter D-shaped oval started to transition to a little bit steeper banking and multi-groove racing. It really is what set these Generation 4 stock cars up for what I think is the peak of NASCAR. So I'm excited to get this one underway. We have a lot of coverage here for a 20-race-long season on VSPEED. Take a look at that schedule as well. We'll be going on to Auto Club, and that's 3 weeks away. So we have a little bit of a break here to start the season off there on the 2nd. And then, the first time that I'm up here in the booth with you, Connor, we'll go on to Auto Club here on the 30th. With that, though, it is time to take you trackside and bring the grid up on your screen and getting the pole. He goes from having no electricity to getting the top spot by 9 1/1000ths of a second. Jeff Wright finds a top position ahead of Philip Brewer, and there's your front row. Philip Brewer looking to be one of the first drivers to maybe lead and win a race in the Challenger to Cup Series. He was dominant there in the Challenger at Homestead. Let's see if he can do it. Dakota Floyd will start in the 3rd position. He had the pole up to about a minute left in qualifying. Reggie Ortega, the track steward race control for the Challenger Series, will start in 4th. Ryan Carlisle and Elliott Butler will go into row number 3. And it's Jeremy Miller and AJ Stravato for row number 4. Rounding out your top 10 with J.R. Shepard. And there's Chad Klinger in the 09.
Klinger almost had a victory last week, and no surprise then Bailey Turner had contact last week as well. We'll see if that boils over. Andrew Telganoff in the 11th position in the 3 car this season. Noah Mahalski, the 03, will start in the 12th position. 13th on the grid. Chuck Sweeting, the number 75. No sponsorship on that car. 14th position. Season 2 Series champion Joseph McWhorter, the red camo racing, 73. Ray Massey, 15th position, the Clark Crenshaw Ford Taurus. Bailey Turner, last week's winner, the dominant driver in this series the last season or so. Coca-Cola car this season.
Sticking with it.
16th. He has work to do. 17th position, Angelo Horonis. For him, Bryce Calusa, who led on the final lap at one point, just couldn't close the deal. 18th for him. Joshua Beck, Season 3 champion, starting in the mid-pack in 19th. Hunter Sr., the 02, starting in 20th.
So much history here in Jeff Wright, starting up the pole, Season 1 champion. Max Cost will start in 21st. Bryce Shoemaker in 22nd. 23rd goes to Jared Skinner. Nick Hapiak had a podium finish. Let's see if he can get it done back-to-back. It's a limited list. Josh Adams will start in 25th position. Benjamin Richards, 26th. 27th goes to Ethan Collier. Then you have Lucas Lyons in 28th. 29th will go to Stephen Davis. Kyle Peacock, round out the top 30. We still have 36 cars out here, 6 more to talk about.
Brandon Wallace, one of them, he starts 31st alongside Kyle Taub, who I believe is making his season debut in 32nd. Rob Denton, the 93 car in a Ricky Craven type paint scheme, starts 33rd. Jacob Locklear, I believe his season debut as well, starting 34th. Kenny Kibbe, he did qualify, just not very well. 35th for him. Eddie Trejo at the back, 36th. Then you got Shinosky, Hodges, Donnie Kite, Austin Belkey, Ben Laughter, and Keith Shoemaker rounding out the 42 cars that we have on track. The only drivers not taking the green flag tonight are Michael Muncie and Matt Dominique, but we're getting ready to go green.
Here we go for week number 2, live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jeff Wright onto the loud pedal. Here we go for the Echo Park Restart Zone and live from Las Vegas for season number 5. Jeff Wright going to lead lap number 1. Philip Brewer just behind him in the side-by-side for the 3rd position. Reggie Ortega, Dakota Floyd. Floyd falls back a spot. We had almost 3 wide with the 09 of Klinger in the middle. I think Jeremy Miller just holds on to it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty squirrely these first few laps, and then if we get a long run, it's going to get even more squirrely. These drivers are on the right rear out of the corner, which means they're really driving it hard, trying to keep it at the perfect angle to drive off that right rear and get a good run off the corners, but you're going to see pretty high tire wear on that right rear tire, probably because of that. These drivers are going to be fighting. They're going to be using all of the racetrack today at this, not newly scanned, but kind of newly updated Las Vegas. A little different from when we saw it in Season 3. I believe it's what we saw in Season 4, but still trying to learn this track for a lot of drivers, and we might see the high line really come in later.
On the outside racing here, 16 of Elliott Butler trying to get around Jeremy Miller. Had a decent run there off of turn 4. Has to dial it back and cuts another outside line for 1 and 2. He's way up the racetrack trying to get around Dakota Floyd. Can he get the 2-for-1 special with the squeeze? They get 1, maybe. Not quite.
It's pretty tight, pretty early to get up to the top side. We've kind of seen this from Elliott Butler, pretty fast short run, but he pays the price in the long run. Looked like Chuck Seaman got a piece of the wall, but he kept it straight. So this might be a short-term gain for Butler, but I would predict it's not even just going to be a long-term loss. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts going backwards in the next 10 to 15 laps. It's going to wear his right sides out a lot as he's trying to get to work on Jeremy Miller for the 4th position. Miller's just going to give him the top. Not really willing to fight him that hard. He knows, or at least he's going to assume Elliott Butler is really going to wear his stuff off, and of course that's what he's going to bet on so he can get by him later. But a lot of single file, at least in the mid-pack right now, but really 10th to 15th, still kind of a mad scramble. Carwell Shepard, they're side-by-side for about the 9th position. You got Noah Mahalski, Joseph McWhorter side-by-side, Massey and looks like Joshua Banks side-by-side as well.
Man, coming off of turn 2, these cars staggered out, have to avoid that safer barrier. Of course, safer barriers weren't a thing when this car existed, so kicking out that right side, it took a while for these drivers to adjust, and since then, they've kind of made these cars symmetrical come off of season 4. Oh, we have a change for second. There's Reggie Ortega on the move.
Reggie Ortega's on the move. I thought I saw someone's bumper flying out of turn 4. It looked like it was Ethan Collier, but it looks like they all kept it straight. But Ortega got up to that second position, got by Philip Brewer, and kind of stacking up at the front. Would not be surprised if this is Jeff Wright, maybe trying to back up the field a little bit, trying to keep his tires on it, but also trying to preserve that clean air a little bit, just so he can keep the tires on it a little bit more than everyone behind him.
It's looking off the back end of Jeff Wright. Reggie Ortega all over that back bumper. Jeff Wright trying to save tires. And that's a throwback to, I believe, a problem here with, I think that was the 30.
Elliott Butler got the wall. I don't know if he and Jeremy Miller had contact out of 2, but Miller went to the apron. Butler got kind of stuck into the wall, and they're still battling for position.
Let's watch here off of turn 2. I don't think Butler got the wall. I think the 30 and the 16 met there on the exit of 2. I don't know if one was too low or one was too high. Maybe we can look at this from the onboard.
They kind of met in the middle, it seemed like. I don't think Butler was that far off the wall, and I don't think Jeremy Miller was too far up the racetrack. They just kind of met in an awkward situation. Yeah, I don't think either driver did much wrong. Just wrong place, wrong time for both drivers. It could have been a case where Miller thought he was going to be clear to get in behind that 16, and it just kind of worked out wrong. But I don't think either car got damaged. Elliott Butler's still ripping the top side to stay in the top 5 positions. Miller is kind of falling back to 8th out of that. AJ Travado's up to 7th after starting in that 8th position. But everyone stays clean, no harm, no foul. Elliott Butler is still really the only driver testing that way high side.
Philip Brewer got back around Reggie Ortega for the second spot while we were watching that replay, and he goes to work on Jeff Wright. And look at all the throwback machines. It's amazing to see. That AC Delco, I think a shout out there to Ron Hornaday, if I'm remembering correctly.
Could be many drivers. Got Kevin Harvick, Ron Hornaday, Cliff Boyer, I think, drove that at some point. A lot of drivers drove that AC Delco 2 car, and before that it was AC Delco 3 car, but definitely a memorable paint scheme. And it's running at the front. We got a crash in turn 4. Car in the outside wall, and it looks like it's Ethan Collier. 36 car, pretty big damage.
That was a throwback to a Denny Hamlin paint. Very damaged.
Usually they weren't that damaged, but that one's going to have some big repairs. First caution of the night, lap number 11, and happened in turns 3 and 4. Probably had a decent run going for a lot of Daytona. Did not pan out the way he wanted. He wrecked out of turn 4 on the final lap. Still ended up top 10, though. But he's going to have a lot of work to do to get another top 10. That one was Stephen Davis in the 60, and ooh, he gets booted. Oh, and he got hit by another car. Trying to find out who that car was. I think it was Lucas Lyons. I think it was the 11 that hit him. He got some pretty good damage as everyone's bringing it down the pit lane. Oh, one person didn't, but yeah, 60 just booted him, and nowhere for that 11 to go, really. Tried checking up, just couldn't do it in time.
So Jeff Wright leads him down pit road, and here's the flood of cars. Everybody coming down. It looks like right side tires at the very least. I don't think anyone's going to take 2. Although we do have a few drivers in the back of this that are taking the chance. Battle off of pit road. 64.
Ben Laughter taking a little bit of a risk there. That or he missed the stall.
I think he missed his stall. I think Ben Laughter missed his pit box.
He rolled right through, so he'll be able to come back down, but he's going to lose any track position he had. We did have J.R. Shepard, who I believe he was running around the top 15 or so. Looked like he ended up staying out. He was 14th, so he'll be the leader. Lucas Lyons, who we saw involved in the first caution, staying out, even with the right front damage. And obviously Ben Laughter's going to have to come in, so see if they both stay out. Really, all 3 of them stay out.
We're going to take a quick commercial break here on VSPEED. You are watching the Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors and Matco Tools. More coverage here on VSPEED right after this. to Josh Adams.
Driver.
Back here live, Saturday Night Racing League, getting ready to go back green on lap number 15. And a lot to unpack here. Some drivers missing the stalls, maybe some drivers staying out. Lucas Lyons, J.R. Shepard are going to be the command cars for this restart as the pace car pulls off. Second time today, we're going to be on the loud pedal. Hey, don't panic. Homestead started out the same way, and we went green for quite a while.
Spin at the very back. Hunter Sr. went around. That's not going to be a caution. But meanwhile, chaos at the front. Cars on old tires getting up out of the way. Jeff Wright's already back to the lead.
Already back to the top spot. We'll have to get an instant replay of what happened to Hunter Sr. in the 0-2. But Jeff Wright is going to come by and lead a lap. We got 3 wide right here.
I think Miller and Butler had a little bit more contact. 3 wide through the middle. Miller gets Travado. He's going to get Elliott Butler. That was a gutsy move as they're all trying to get around the car of Lucas Lyons, who's pretty slow on track with no tires and a little bit of damage. As nearly 4 wide, Butler slips up the racetrack. He almost wrecked the 11. Now he's going to lose 5, 6, maybe 7 positions.
I don't know if there was a little net code there or not. Turner was in the middle.
Either.
No. This is around the 10th spot. They're still working on it. McWhorter. He saved it.
No, not yet. He's still sliding. They're 3, 4 wide again. I think
What a save.
Lions had another moment. Elliott Butler is just getting really held up by this 11 car. Look how many positions he's losing just by being caught behind old tires.
Oh, what a save for Joseph McWhorter. That was impressive.
Just got away with it. Elliott Butler might boot Lucas Lyons. He is booting Lucas Lyons. 11 got spun. This is going to be a big crash. 25's in it. Jared Skinner. 93. Rob Denton's in it. And that's not it. Kyle Taub, big damage.
Peacock in the 25. And this is all because the 16 of Elliott Butler moved Lucas Lyons.
Now Rob Denton's done. That 93's totaled. 1 car's totaled. Saw that coming. I mean, he had been backing up because of the 11, and the 11 was still kind of in his way. And he's trying to be patient, The 11 kind of slipped in the middle of the corner. I don't think Butler meant to hit him. It just ended up happening. Happyack, looks like Horona's got some damage. And poor Elliott Butler just got put in the wrong place, wrong time to get stuck behind that 11 car.
And this is back to McWhorter's save.
And these things are squarely in the tri-oval, so he was not done saving it until he got out of the tri-oval. Be able to see right here, he gets a little loose because Butler's kind of on his bumper. And then he just finally finishes him off there. I mean, you see all these drivers pile in. 25 almost went over in all that chaos. That was Kyle Peacock, who has a ton of damage himself. And Jared Skinner, we saw him kind of get in there as well. Pretty early chaos.
Well, I think this is a chance here to maybe pull up a driver. What do you think, Connor? Anybody you want, I think we pull someone in.
Definitely not anyone who was in the wreck, at least I hope.
Whoever you want. And, you know, for TV ratings, we can bring them in. Whoever was involved in that, maybe get their take.
Try to see, I'd say go J.R. Shepard. He's one of those drivers who had stayed out, and he stayed out again, so he still got 1 extra set of tires, but he's on older tires still.
Yeah, this is about a 13 lap difference here.
So let's bring him up real quick, and you can give him a little talk.
J.R. Shepard, it's Bradley Cooper, Connor Horn, and the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Oh, I got you, yes.
Well, you stayed out there. It didn't work out for Lucas Lyons, but seems like it's working out decently for you. And maybe that extra tire set comes into play later in the race.
Yeah, I'm hoping the tire set comes into play for sure. I thought some more guys would stay out, so I'm just trying to hang on here, not really racing anybody. Just trying to keep it clean. It's a little bit tough because it's so fast here.
Well, we also have to say your car right now looks like it's better in a middle situation, but if you get pinched down on the bottom or on the outside, how do you feel about your chances of maintaining position?
I'd rather be on the outside for sure. The bottom, you're going to get eaten alive, especially early after the restarts here. So we'll see what happens. I'm on the inside here. All right, restarting in ninth. J.R. Shepherd, good luck out there, and hopefully we don't see what we just saw there with guys getting a little bit impatient early in the race. All right, thank you, guys.
Now, Connor, I know that the 16 didn't mean to get into Lucas Lyons, but I got to defend. Lyons kind of pulled a little strategy. 16 knows that he's on older tires. You just got to get out of that wake. I don't know if there's a right or wrong on either one of those guys, but the patience game, we still have 120 laps to go.
It's a tough deal. I get being impatient, and I know the 16 didn't mean to do it, but you can only back up so much until something like that's going to happen. I mean, the 11 was pretty out of control, and he had damage, so it's unfortunate that it happened.
Jeff Wright's going to restart with Reggie Ortega on the outside. We're back underway for the third time from Las Vegas. And Jeff Wright, again, gets a great shot, pulls out almost 3/10.
Great restart for him. He's gone already. Philip Brewer slides up in front of Reggie Ortega for the second position. So Ortega third. Floyd and Klinger will go side by side for that fourth position. As so we have to see anyone really challenge Jeff Wright legitimately for the race lead, but we haven't had a run longer than about 11 laps so far. So got to get some laps under all these drivers' belts right now.
73 of Joseph McWhorter just tagged the wall. We've already seen one phenomenal save. That mistake there doesn't quite make sense there on the outside, but pushed up the racetrack, and he's still able to hold on to it. Now going to dive to the inside of J.R. Shepherd, who we just talked to.
Got to try to get by him as quickly as possible, but it seems like already those tires aren't doing too badly for the 98 of Shepherd. He's still falling positions back, but really not as far off pace as I thought he'd be. McWhorter got sideways. I think he clipped the apron, and McWhorter almost lost it again. As we're going to go 3 wide again, Ryan Carwile through the middle, trying to get 2 for 1. He's going to get Shepherd. Can he get McWhorter? He's going to have the runoff for 2. That was a good move after McWhorter had his moment through the tri-oval.
We got to back this up on board, huh?
That was pretty close. 3 wide for fourth. Miller just got 2 for 1. But right there, clips the apron right there, and the car gets sideways, and he has to react very quickly. Did a good job keeping up with the steering, because I'm sure that caught him by surprise. And he saves a race car once again, so it's twice in a tri-oval already. Jeremy Miller went 3 wide, got around Dakota Floyd and Chad Klinger for that 4th position. Klinger starting to fade a little bit here, back to the 7th position. Side by side with old buddy Bailey Turner, who's climbed up about 10 positions from 16th.
On the move here for Coca-Cola, trying to chase down the Lowe's machine.
Whoa, car in the grass. Chuck Sweeting going joyride through the tri-oval grass. Looks like he's going to keep it straight, no yellow.
It's a shame for Sweeting. I was hoping maybe his luck had changed. It did change there in the Challenger Series, but let's see what happened to Chuck Sweeting.
Long race to go. He got 7th last week at Daytona. He's up the track, trying to keep it off Eddie Trejo, I think, and you just see him wiggling. He was fighting that all the way through turn 4. Just finally had to slide it.
Let's check in here with the edge of the top 10, where the battles continue. Joshua Banks, Joseph McWhorter, 03 and Noah Mahalski.
How about the battle for the lead? Ortega's looking to the inside of Jeff Wright, and he just almost slid up into the 48 Jeff Wright. He had to lift way out of the gas, and here comes Jeremy Miller.
Ortega takes a stab at the lead, ends up paying for it with a position. The 30 car on the outside, Jeremy Miller, 44 of Brewer. Here comes the 24 of Bailey Turner. How much did we see this last season? Turner starting a little bit deeper in the field. Didn't slowly, methodically, picking his way through. I think the final total is 9 wins, Connor. You can correct me on that.
I will try my best to correct you on that. He had a lot, and we probably certainly lost out. He at least had 6. There's no doubt about he had at least 6 wins. Had 4 to start the season. He's already got 1 to start this season, so who knows what we can pull off this time around. He ended up with 6 wins on this season.
All right.
Total. He's up to 13 all time, only 2 behind Jeff Wright for the all-time mark. So he could get number 14 tonight and start another championship charge if he wants to. And Brewer tapped the wall a little bit there. And he's talking about him coming from the back. He didn't really do that a lot at the beginning of the season. It seemed like later in the season, his qualifying efforts, once the next-gen car got a little bit of an update, qualifying maybe became a little bit more of a struggle. And definitely the last 2 races of the season, we saw how much he struggled. He almost gave Josh Adams an avenue to win that championship. It just didn't end up being the case.
I'm going to have to take a look here at the issue. I'm having a little bit of a technical glitch, so I'll try to get that fixed. Trying to go on board here with Joshua Banks running in the 10th position. And he's had his hands full. They are working this real hard, side by side for the lead.
And Miller went to the top side. Jeff Wright kind of gave him the right rear quarter panel. Miller's going to try to wind up this high side, get a run into turn number 3, but that pass on the bottom is going to be really tough to make while keeping the car pointed. We saw Ortega struggle with this, almost washed up into the 48. Miller's going to take his first attempt at it. His right slides the car through turns 3 and 4. Just seems like that bottom line. Wow. Ortega hit it pretty good there, but that bottom line in 3 and 4 just doesn't seem like it has the grip for drivers to really compete down there. And we saw how much momentum he lost. I mean, Philip Brewer almost got 2nd position back, so you have to find another way to pass today, it seems.
These cars are generating footage for Juicy Spider Studios to make another great intro. I love this car. I'm sure it's a handful to drive. These guys probably aren't having as much fun as we are watching it in the booth, but slipping and sliding here at Las Vegas.
Oh!
Sideways
Miller.
again.
Oh my goodness, I thought Miller was gone right there. Billy Turner did a good job keeping it off the 30 car, because that could have been a big crash, but it seems like it's just one lap trying to run the bottom, trying to run for the race lead, and now the 30's tires are pretty lit up. Now he's faded back to that 5th position.
This battle here was almost 3 wide with Hunter Sr., a car that got caught up in something early. 16 down on the inside, letting everybody by. Man, there's just so much going on all the way around this racetrack.
He still got J.R. Shepard right in front of that battle in 17th, so he stayed out from 14th, so it has been a net loss, but not too bad of a net loss right now since he still has that extra set of tires. And tires in these Gen 4 cars, they do wear out pretty harshly, so that's something to look for later in the race, but the yellows have to fall right for the 98 still.
Let's try it again. What do you say?
Let's go for it.
Come on. There we go. Hey, there's Joshua Banks. Telemetry on board. They're going 190 miles per hour into the entry of turn 1. How long has it been since we've done that?
At this track, it's been a while for sure. And at the speed difference of these cars as well in the corners, as he's 195 into turn 1. He was 191 into turn 3, but he got as low as 159 in the center of the corner. Oh, there goes Miller.
That was an avoidance.
It's not going to be a yellow, and Miller's going to be pretty far behind.
I think Miller made another mistake, and Bailey Turner was there.
Didn't see what happened. I don't know if Turner got into him or not, but we saw Miller slide already. I think Miller was struggling a lot, chasing it up the track, trying to just get out of the corner, and Bailey Turner couldn't check up in time. It ran into the back of the 30, so I don't think Miller has much damage, but all that track position's gone. He's back to 34th position, I believe, and it's kind of funny. That kind of happened last week at Daytona. He kind of booted out in Cabot down the back straightaway, spun Cabot out, and there was no yellow for that. Cabot was able to end up obviously getting the second, but Miller, it's going to be a lot harder for him to get back into this with all that time lost. As meanwhile, while all that happened, Philip Brewer has taken the race lead.
Well, we got to go back and take a look at that. That happened simultaneously, I believe.
I think it happened in 1 and 2 after the 30 spun. He's already around the outside of him, so if I had to guess, Jeff Wright, just like he did with Miller, he kind of gave up his right rear on corner entry, very committed to the bottom of the racetrack, but Philip Brewer just hooked up the top side wonderfully. Jeff Wright can't shut down that high side out of turn 2 in time, and Brewer gets away with the lead. And Ortega got the second as well.
Now Ortega passed him later, and Ortega's going for the lead. He made contact with the 44 just as we came back live.
I'd say it's funny because you can't get the next-gen car's aero loose, but that's not true in iRacing. You can get the next-gen car aero loose from bumper to rear bumper, but this is how you kind of made passes in the Gen 4 car to get kind of right up under the rear bumper of someone, get them a little sideways, get them aero loose, and then skirt on by. It's kind of what Ortega tried to do there, but he couldn't make it work. And now Jeff Wright, he wants that track position back. He is ripping the wall through turn 3, kind of turns it down on the exit of 4. Now he has a run back to the lead.
Wow,
he gets third in turn 4. He's going to get the lead, and I believe he led that lap. That was impressive.
Here comes the 57 of Dakota Floyd to try to chase down. We got 3 wide with the 35 of Joshua Banks into the top 5 for the first time today.
Talked about Bailey Turner's climb through the field. How about Joshua Banks? He started 19th, and he's up into the top 5 positions. Obviously, Turner fell a little further back because of the contact with Miller, but what a climb for the Season 3 champion. So you got 2 champions in the top 5. Whoa, Jeff Wright slammed the wall hard for the race lead, all on his own. He's going to lose the lead. Here goes Dakota Floyd the second. I don't know how much, I don't think there's damage to that 48, but he slammed the wall. This is eventful.
Yeah, it is.
You see, he's high up on the track, and he thinks he has enough room to get out of there without lifting, and he clobbers the wall straight up. All that was there. He still got back to second, and he's still going for the lead, so clearly that car isn't hurt, but too many whacks like that, and it's going to hurt the car.
Oh, we got to love this Gen 4 car. This is when NASCAR was at its peak, and it is not disappointing. 41 laps in, 100 to go. Jeff Wright's going to go back to the lead with a car that has been everywhere.
Oh, my goodness. Philip Brewer, I'm so worried about how that car is going to... Oh, yeah, he hit it pretty good as well. I think he's still good, though. Oh, he's going to have contact with Mahalski. They keep it straight. I'm just worried about these guys blowing right rear tires. I mean, these guys are hanging it out of the corner. Oh, Ortega got sideways. He's on the apron. Here comes Joshua Banks looking for the 4th position. You remember Season 1 at Las Vegas? That race was crazy as well. He had like 5 or 6 drivers who could win that race. This kind of has that feel.
Zach Klinger looking for the 5th position. Not able to get it that time. Bailey Turner trying to go back on recovery after the contact with the 30 machine. He fell out of the top 10. He's back in 13th right now. That is your defending champion looking to make a repeat win and repeat championship. The Capiak's going to get by.
He's also another driver kind of struggling with rear grip right now. I mean, this is not the next-gen car. You know, Daytona's Daytona. Kind of anyone can win it if you have the teammates around you. But this is a different challenge for Turner. Not a car he drives at all. Not a car really anyone drives. And it wouldn't be surprising to see him have a little bit of a learning curve with this Gen 4 car. Definitely seems like he's struggling. Definitely seems like Turner's struggling with rear grip as Elliott Butler's getting lapped. It's going to be tight out of turn number 4. They somehow got around him. And Brewer's going to keep that 2nd spot.
That messed up a lot of guys, though. There was a run there from Floyd to the inside. Banks had a huge run there to take it 3 wide, but had to back out of it. He's going to end up getting around Floyd anyway. He gets a little help there down the backstretch.
Oh, got a little bit of a bump draft. These bumpers don't line up, so can't really do that too much. So I don't know how much Banks will appreciate that, but he's all the way up to that 3rd position.
Well, there's 2 different cars as well. Oh. Sideways for Ortega. He's still drifting it.
That's the 2nd time I've seen him do that.
He's still drifting it.
Oh, got a spinner in the tri-oval. Nope, he saved it. That was, I believe, Jacob Locklear. Almost got spun in the tri-oval. We need 2 different streams at this rate. There are too many drivers going all over the place. Locklear kept it straight. Jeff Wright, Brewer, Banks going for the lead. Floyd's now 4th. Chad Klinger's fought back to 5th as Ortega's going to start the fade.
So much happening so quickly and a lot of action here on VSPEED. Adam Baker in the chat. Good to see you in here. And sorry that I've been slacking. I want to apologize to everybody out there at VSPEED. I have been slacking pretty hardcore. Just know that I bought a house and that's where I've been. The house was built in 1880. It needs a lot of work. I can confirm that with newspapers in the walls. 1880. Battle for the lead. Here comes Banks to the inside. Season 3 champion on Season 1. Couldn't get it done.
Just that pass is going to be so hard to make on the bottom of the racetrack, but I think the best thing for Banks is when Jeff Wright gives him the bottom, because he didn't that time. When he gives him the bottom, Jeff Wright's giving him room. He's not pinching him down. He's more than welcome. He's more than fine with running the way bottom or way top of the racetrack. So that's something maybe Banks can use to advantage, kind of force up that 48 at some point if he gets positioning on him.
Watching from Portland, shout out to Caleb Wakely. Not sure what you're doing on the other side of the country, but thank you for tuning in.
He's at Portland. Sounds like maybe he's watching IndyCar, possibly. That's my guess, because they are in Portland. Oh, man. Brewer and Floyd going at it for that third spot. They got sideways. McWhorter kind of charging through the field a little bit here. His luck has probably been worse than the 75 of Chuck Sweeting's the past season or so. It kind of reared its ugly head at Daytona, but he's worked his way up through the field a little bit. He started 14th. He's looking for 6th.
Biggest gainer right now, tied for Ben Lather and Joshua Banks, 17 positions gained. Josh Adams, 13 spots, and then 7 gained for McWhorter. So right on board with him.
Here goes Banks, looking for the lead again. He kind of got Jeff Wright a little arrow loose at turn 4, just enough to have a look to the inside, but this is where he's going to struggle when the 48 doesn't give him that much room. He needs that room to get off of the corner. He just doesn't have the grip.
That 35 Matco Tools machine has been all over Jeff Wright. I think Jeff Wright, you can't aero block quite as much with this car like you could the next gen, but Wright is taking away the line. He is taking away the line for the exits and doing what he needs to do to defend, and this car kind of makes a little bit more sense to the seasoned veterans like Jeff Wright and Joshua Banks, where you can take away a driver's line. Man, Banks was really tight there off of 2.
And dirty air is still a thing. Maybe not as bad as the next gen, but it is still going to affect your car. So the only way to really combat that for Banks is to get the 48 aero loose. Otherwise, he's going to be kind of in that wash, and he's going to start to fade back a little bit, as you could see him kind of get backed up to Dakota Floyd and Phillip Brewer right now.
Bailey Turner looking to the inside for the 15th position on Nick Hapiak. Can't get the pass done. Looks like passing is impossible on the inside, but Joshua Banks is going to try it again for the lead.
Got like 4 different lines being used. I mean, every single driver in the top 4 is kind of running a different line right there, from the bottom to the top of the racetrack. And these 4 have separated themselves from the rest of the field. They're kind of running 32-1s, and that's what Chad Klinger's running. He separated himself from Reggie Ortega, who I believe is holding up 3 or 4 cars in that 6th position. Klinger was able to get by, and he's putting a gap on that 2 car. He's trying to chase down Phillip Brewer. I wonder pit stops are soon. I mean, we know J.R. Shepard's got to come in any moment. He still hasn't pit at all. He's down to the 19th position, and I don't think the fuel's going to last much longer than 55, 60 laps. It might be close to drivers trying to one-stop it, but I still don't think that's going to be possible.
They were some of these guys that topped off, but I still, I think it's going to be a 2-stopper. I think it was always a 2-stop race anyway. 140 laps, 80% fuel. These cars are cranking out 9,800 RPMs. On board with Jeff Wright.
As I say that, lap 54, I saw some drivers come down, mainly Bailey Turner from 16th position. He's hit pit lane. Bryce Shoemaker followed him in, so definitely shows that they're committed to a 2-stop, and that 24 was really struggling, so I'm not surprised to see him pit.
So you have Turner, Shoemaker, and Shoemaker. Denton on pit road for Infinity.
Comes Reggie Ortega, I believe. He's in. Angelo Horonis also in. Looks like Eddie Trejo's in. Matt Shanowski's in. This will pretty much start the cycle.
So lap 56, pit stops have begun.
And as this pit stop cycle is about to begin for all the front runners, Jeff Wright starting to kind of stretch his lead. It's definitely the biggest lead we've seen all race. It's up to about 0.4 of a second, and we really haven't seen more than 0.2 of a second of separation until now. So definitely save something for the end of this run.
Well, you could see Connor, he was running the bottom of the racetrack when it was available, but when he needed to defend, he would take the outside line, keep those guys pinched, and not give them the exit. I mean, Banks tried several times to pass on the bottom. It is the tire-saving line, but it is not the fastest way around this racetrack, and the 35 of Banks just not able to get around it.
Stravato's in, Mahalski's in. And yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, that's kind of what Jeff Wright does when he's in the lead. He runs the line that he wants to run for tire saving at the front, but when he needs to defend, he'll go up to the higher line, pinch you if he needs to, and make sure to keep that track position. He lost it once or twice from hitting the wall, but was able to get it back, so he's got some real speed under that 48. Just a matter of making sure he doesn't hit the wall anymore and trying to keep it in the front and try not to slide as much as he did there. Got another driver pitting. That is, I believe, Andy Telganoff. Was 8th. Come down to pit. Just trying to look at the difference from fresh tires to what the leaders are running. Bailey Turner that time by ran a 30.75. He was about a second and a half faster than Jeff Wright. And yes, that is a Blue Chew number 3 car. I was waiting for
my maturity level dropped there for a second.
I was waiting for you to pick up on that. I saw that earlier.
Okay, back to what we were focused on. We had Extends and Viagra cars. Why not a Blue Chew car?
It's pretty much the modern version at this point, but I was focusing on the tire difference. Like I said, I think Bailey Turner's lapping about a second and a half faster than the race leader, Jeff Wright. A little less than that, actually, which is maybe a little surprising. I thought there might be a little bit more fall off, but not to be the case. I mean, it is still a lot of fall off, just not as much as I was thinking, but this long run pace for Jeff Wright is good if he can keep this up as he's on pit lane.
Man, what an approach there to pit road. Jeff Wright back to full form. I mean, he struggled in the next-gen car, but here tonight, this fits right in his wheelhouse.
Stefan Davis pit road penalty. Saw that happen live. Just too fast entering for sure. Chad Klinger pits. Oh, and a caution is out. There's a spin into turn 1. It's Noah Mahalski, and the caution is out, and that completely changes the landscape of this race.
Where are the leaders at? It's Dakota Floyd. He's coming around. He's lapping Jeff Wright.
Wow, that really changes the race for a ton of drivers. You had Floyd, Klinger, McWhorter, so many drivers yet to pit. A lot of drivers going to have to take the wave around here. And, oh, that was 50. That was Benjamin Richards. Well, I don't know where he came from.
He was down on the apron. He hit the wall coming out of 4, went through the grass. He had the car saved, but he slid up in to the 03.
That's just a tough break. Hunter Sr. got involved in that as well. Didn't see him go around until now, but looks like 02 did a 360 and saved the car. So, you know, when these tires get heated up in these Gen 4 cars, you slide them once, it's going to take you such a long time to get them back. You can't just drive them straight easily with no wheel spin. I mean, he's still wheel spinning even there, and that's an unfortunate situation, getting the 02 and 03. And a lot of drivers are going to be in trouble on track position because of it.
You know the best way to save a car here, Connor?
Oh, that
do absolutely nothing. Watch this.
He just kind of gets clipped, doesn't really turn the wheel. He gets it straight, and then he starts steering it right to keep it straight. He did a good job of staying calm under pressure and saving a race car. Him and Mahalski, really. I mean, they're still going to have cars to contend with by the end of this race. Fortunately, Mahalski, I believe he had pit. He's a lap down, as is Hunter Sr. And there's going to be a lot of wave arounds as pretty much everyone lead lap pit. Floyd, Klinger, Carwile, Adams, McWhorter are the first 5 off of pit road. And Kalusa, Nick Hapiak, Laughter, Wallace. A lot of drivers who stayed out. A lot of drivers who stayed out caught a big break. I don't know who the lucky dog was.
I want to say Jeff Wright had the free pass position. Maybe Kenny Kibbe?
Just trying to get a view on that. I think it was Kenny Kibbe. So Kibbe actually catches a pretty big break, and being able to get the lucky dog and able to get another set of tires, although he's been damaged, so not the biggest of deals for him to get the lucky dog. But the bigger deal that Jeff Wright was not able to get it. He kind of blocked the 48 from getting it, and Jeff Wright will get the wave around, and pretty much everyone all the way back to Mahalski will also get the wave around.
That caution destroyed the run Jeff Wright had going. He led the vast majority of the laps, and it also puts Joshua Banks, Philip Brewer, most of the top 5 that was there, with the exception of Dakota Floyd, Chad Klinger, they stayed out long enough. And it was just where that caution fell. But Connor, it changes the kind of the makeup of this entire race so far.
I mean, you got all those guys on older tires who are going to have to hope for a yellow to get back on even terms. I mean, Jeff Wright, his tires should be relatively new. Bailey Turner has 5 or 6 laps on his tires, so it's really going to be tough for him on older tires to make any ground up. Horonis, kind of same boat. Same thing for Reggie Ortega, who pit much earlier than a lot of other drivers. So there's plenty of drivers in trouble if we don't get a quick yellow. But big opportunity for drivers like Josh Adams, Ryan Carwell, who weren't really in the running at the top 5. Bryce Kalusa there as well. Big opportunity for those guys. None bigger than Dakota Floyd, who's in a very good spot now.
Week 2 at Las Vegas. Pace cars off. It's the 4th time today. We're going to hit the loud pedal and a lot of wave arounds from about 14th on back.
Got to watch the stack up there when they're single file like that. Looks like we got away clean. Dakota Floyd gets the lead. Got 3 wide in the background in the mid-pack. That's Jeremy Miller, who is still shown a lap down, trying to get through there as Benjamin Richards back into the outside wall. Jeff Wright gets by, but Floyd is all clear for the lead.
56 and Benjamin Richards running in 15th in that Coors Light Ford Taurus. Into the wall again.
So he was lead lap, so funny enough, it did end up working for him. Obviously, he didn't do it intentionally, but I guess you'll take whatever break you can at that point, but definitely see what type of pace he has on the newer tires. Seemed like he was struggling on the older tires in that Coors Light, I believe, Ford Taurus. As caution's out, what's spun on turn number 2. Big hit to the inside wall.
Jacob Locklear in the Taco Bell has been rung.
That's one of the 3 or 4 Taco Bell cars we have.
Where's the soundboard when you need it?
I believe Jared Skinner will be the lucky dog. Looks like he ripped it away from Jeremy Miller. Gonna instant replace, is kind of in the top 15, side by side with Brandon Wallace.
He got sideways on his own and came down in front of him.
Yeah, it looked like he got... Yeah, it looked like kind of almost the same thing Elliott Butler and Jeremy Miller had happen. I mean, the 84 kind of wiggled down the racetrack. 99 was just coming off the corner just to have a straight exit out of the corner, and they just came together. But I think the 84 definitely wiggled a lot more than what we saw Elliott Butler do. Yeah, you could see him turning down. Just not too far out of control, just you slide these things so easily. It's just bound to happen. And he might have gotten away without too much damage on the rear end. He didn't hit front end first, and that might be repairable.
Well, it's another opportunity here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're just coming up on the halfway mark of race number 2. Dakota Floyd has the lead right now for Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series action. This race has been flipped on its head. Don't go anywhere. The action will continue with Floyd, Klinger, and Carlisle in the top three, presented by M&J Distributors. Back with more on VSPEED right after this.
The victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing lead in the throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes Build Events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Back here live at Las Vegas, the restart there with Dakota Floyd. 70 laps in, sideways for the 57. Here comes Chad Klinger to the outside.
He got the right rear. If he drives it hard enough, can maybe get that 57 a little sideways off the corner, but Floyd's going to run him up the track, just going to clear him off of turn number 4. He keeps the lead. Pretty strong move there. As here comes Josh Adams, huge run to the outside. Going to look for that second position. McWhorter's in the mix as well. Brian Carlisle's up to 5th.
Again, this goes back to that untimely caution for a lot of the top 5 drivers like Jeff Wright, who led the first 40, 50 laps of this race. The 35 of Joshua Banks is trying to chase him through this traffic. These guys navigating back to the top 10 quickly. But for every lap that goes by, this helps Dakota Floyd. They had a little bit of an advantage because Jeff Wright was trapped down pit road. These guys are on fresh tires compared to the guys that had to catch back up with that wave around.
And everyone else, like you said, they're trying to play catch up. Jeff Wright's back up near the 8th position. He's in this kind of lead pack right now. Banks is up in the 10th, but still got a lot of drivers who really got trapped further down in traffic because of it, like Bailey Turner, who's a little further back. He's still in the 23rd position trying to make ground up. AJ Stravato's back there still. Enzo Horonis is in the mid pack, so a ton of drivers who really got caught on the bad side of this.
Look 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Chad Klinger to the inside. Big run here for the number 6 rather of Josh Adams into 3 and 4. He was all over the back bumper. You said these cars bumpers don't line up, and they do at the super speedways. And this is one of the unique cars that we've had cars in the past have a little bit of extra trim on the front and back. In the past, Happy Axe sideways. He's going to hold on to it.
Big crash. Reggie Ortega and Ben Laughter hard in the outside wall.
And Ortega looks like it's done for the day.
That was a huge hit on the entry to the corner. I believe Jeremy Miller will be the free pass. Did not see how this started. Only these two involved, apparently. We'll see if anyone else was involved in the making of this crash. Side by side, and ooh, that looked like netcode.
On board with a 64.
He might have came down a little bit, but it did not look like there was physical contact between those cars. Drafting off of Brandon Wallace. Wow, definitely look closer to contact from that angle.
We'll give it one more. One more for due diligence. I got a blimp camera. We'll try it one more time from this angle. I don't know if Ortega, that's like more of a meet in the middle.
I've already seen 2 or 3 times today, but definitely looked like there was space between those two cars from the blimp angle that we saw, and they just ended up hooking together at the worst possible time.
We'll slow it down. How about that? That's the best angle I can give you right here.
Laughter definitely looks like wiggle right there. Chases it down the track. And yeah, there's netcode. I think they're going to hit anyways. It looked like Laughter got sideways out of the tri-oval and was chasing it down the track, while Ortega was a little higher up the track than the 0-2, and they just kind of met, as almost saw a car flip over. As we almost saw that in the first crash. Look at Bailey Turner. Look at J.R. Shepard just sneaking under that crash.
And while that was happening, we had a change for the lead.
Yeah, Chad Klinger, I believe, just got the lead before corner entry there. Which, right when that yellow fell, it just ended up timing up perfectly, because he got a huge run to the inside on Dakota Floyd, and Floyd might have had a chance to get the lead back down the backstretch, but the caution was already out at that point. Saw a lot of drivers pit there. I believe 19 or so drivers stayed out. Actually, a little less than that. Right here. I mean, I don't know if he knew the yellow's coming out, but he dove hard into turn 1 and was able to get his nose ahead before the caution came out. The timing lines went in his favor there for sure. Ortega's going to try to at least salvage something out of this day with every fender of that car dinged up. Ben Laughter too. Somehow both of those cars are still running. You can see the whole fuel cell in the 64 car. They're both going to stay lead lap.
Well, look who's back, Connor.
Good old Jeff Wright.
Gonna restart here on the outside, just behind Dakota Floyd. Chad Klinger enjoying his laps led right now as the pace car lights are out. And at lap 77, I think this is the perfect opportunity. What do you think, Connor? We're halfway through this race. I know I'm just getting back here, but what do you think? Why don't we shout out to FireStorm Racing, and for this restart, we'll get loud.
I think it's about time we get loud. We waited a long time to do it at Daytona.
All right, let's do it. Chad Klinger, command car. Floyd, McWhorter, Wright, and Banks, the top 5. Find those remote controls and those volume knobs. Turn it up and get loud. Presented by FireStorm Racing. That was Get Loud, presented by FireStorm Racing. Chad Klinger continues to hold on to the lead. A stab there from Joseph McWhorter. And Joshua Banks has gotten around. We got problems in the back with a 7 down the back stretch. We're staying green.
Jared Skinner and Jeremy Miller, I think, had contact. Bryce Shoemaker got some damage out of it as well, but we're going to keep it green. Ray Massey's in the wall to turn 4. He's going to keep it straight. One thing about these Gen 4 cars is the draft is incredibly, maybe a little stronger than what it needs to be, and it produces this packed-up racing on short runs, which maybe isn't realistic of the era. But it is entertaining as we get a replay, see what happened to Skinner. And oh, we got a crash down the back straightaway live. This is a big crash live. Bryce Calusa, Chuck Sweeting, Happy at Coronis, Donnie Kite's in it, Jared Shepard's in it. Huge crash live, and the caution's out.
Are we trying to watch a replay?
It looked like Miller turned Shoemaker, just came up the track on that one. I think we got enough of a view of that where I think the 30 misjudged it. Turned to 54 into the 7. Miller's already behind this at this point. Looked like it started with Stravato. And oh yeah, Stravato and Calusa. Something happened with them. Trejo got some big damage out of that as well.
71 of Ryan Carwile, the 33 of Stravato in the inside wall. Let's watch it one more time from our blimp camera to see if we can fit this all into the frame. I don't think we can, Connor.
That one was late, but it's something, I don't know. Got Stravato looking middle on those two, then Carwile goes to the outside. Oh, Carwile,
20 came up.
Yeah, Calusa came up. I would not be surprised maybe he didn't get the 3 wide call because of how late in the corner Ryan Carwile came up. Wow, Miller just got through that. But, you know, he's thinking maybe they're too wide. He's expecting maybe Stravato to go to the wall, and he just doesn't. So there's an unfortunate situation as Jeremy Miller might have caused a mini crash, but he might have gotten away with it. He might have gotten away from that crash because of it. And funny enough, Bryce Shoemaker, Jared Skinner might have damage, but looking at that crash down the back, it might have been worse if they didn't have that happen.
And Jeremy Miller goes from, what, 20th place up to 3rd?
He was 26th after the incident. Now he's in about the 3rd position after staying out, as looks like out of the people that pit, looks like Joshua Banks got caught speeding. Boy. That's another front runner who's having trouble. We saw this at the end of Daytona too, but if you look at pit entry, or really the entire pit road, it is a junkyard with a lot of cars needing repair damage. Banks not one of them, but he's going to have to start behind almost all of them.
Well, Chad Klinger's loving it. 86 laps in. He keeps finding the lead. Well, the guys that were dominant today have kind of flip-flopped. And you've got now Benjamin Richards up in the top 3, Jeremy Miller in the top 5, McWhorter the first on the fresh tires, Shinosky, Philip Brewer, Jeff Wright. And with the way the cautions are falling, Jeff Wright just can't get back to the lead. He led the first 51 laps, and since then it's just been catastrophe after catastrophe, keeping him out of this top spot.
At this point, we've kind of lost track of who has what amount of tires left, because there's so many cars damaged and so many cars on and off pit road. So it's just going to come down to who pits at the end, and we'll just assume people who pit at the end have tires left at this point. But at this point, it might be anyone's race. I mean, Jeff Wright's shown to be the fastest car long run, but track position is still pretty important even in these Gen 4 cars, and Chad Klinger's been able to keep the lead while he's had that clean air. And there's a lot of drivers who could use a good finish, but there's still over 50 laps to go. Miller and Benjamin Richards on row 2. Shinosky's top 5. Great run for him. Like we said, a long way to go.
87. Lap 87. As we hit this restart. Guy Klinger gets a great run out of the hole shot. He'll get a good jump on Jeremy Miller, Josh Adams, and we've got 4 wide behind him. Into 1. Contact.
31 didn't get going. McWhorter and Jeff Wright forced their way by him. McWhorter's going to get that spot. Josh Adams up check. Richards in the wall. 44's around. Keith Shoemaker in it as well. Looks like the Hunter Senior was in it again. Not Hunter Senior.
Banks is he was talking to his chat just now. Not sure what was going on there, but he was holding up 3-4 fingers.
It's gonna be a really interesting fuel situation now. Looks like Brandon Wallace got some damage. Donnie Kite. 56-31, they're on old tires. Philip Brewer comes up the track, it's not clear.
Yeah, and say Richards has nowhere to go.
Oh, Keith Shoemaker he had nowhere to go. Just looked like he got on the brakes and it just went dead left. But yeah, Richards, he's on old tires. He doesn't have to lift for anyone. He just happens to be on old tires. And I think Philip Brewer assumed he'd have that room to slide up and clear that position, and he did not have that room. It was not clear. And it kind of started when they were forcing 3-4 wide with the 48 and 73. Yeah, he never cleared them. Nothing Benjamin Richards can do there. A lot of drivers lead lap pitting here. And like I said, this might be an odd fuel situation for a lot of cars, so I think that's why most of these guys are pitting. Got Miller on pit road. Got Bailey Turner out of pit road. Definitely looks like he took fuel only to top off, as did Miller. The caution count is creeping up. I think we had only 2 or 3 a week ago.
The trend continues with the Cup Series versus the Challenger Series. That's been kind of the case. And the next-gen car, I could equate to that. This car, even more of a handful, but it is controllable. And I think a lot of it right now is just, we're only week 2 in here. We've still got 42 cars on the racetrack. Well, to start the race, we had 42 cars. Now we're down to about 34.
Yeah, the attrition rate definitely starting to pick up. Denton, Taub, Lucas Lyons, Collier, Peacock, Max Cost, they've been out of the race for quite some time. Hunter Sr., I believe, has called it a night at 36. Bryce Calusa's off track, making repairs. Keith Shoemaker's going to go laps down, making repairs. Elliott Butler, he got his repairs done, but he's still 3 laps down. But he actually has an opportunity back into this race if we get some yellows.
Double back up, Connor. 90 laps in. Lap 91. We'll have 50 to go. And I don't see a single driver that can make it to the end of this race on fuel. It's going to be really, really close. Maybe these guys that topped off. That's going to be close.
Yeah, 50 laps on fuel. Just trying to see really what J.R. Shepard had 2 or 3 yellows to work with when he was stretching his fuel. And he was able to go about 56 laps with a caution or 2. So I think this is going to be possible for those drivers that topped off. But if you didn't top off, there's a lot more people repairing damage than I thought. But if you did not top off that last yellow, which obviously Chad Klinger, Josh Adams, when you have track position, you can't really do it. This is going to be a stretch for those drivers who don't have that extra fuel.
Well, Klinger's 27 laps on the stint. He's guaranteed he's not making it. I think Adams is also in that same boat. These guys staying out, that's going to hurt. Jeff Wright is looking like a genius here. First car after 4 tires and 5 laps on the stint. I think it's going to work out for the 48 team. McWhorter to the inside. Pace car's off another time. And it's the 9th time today. We're going to go green. Back underway at Las Vegas.
It seems like no matter how you try to time it or not, the race leader is just able to get such a big jump. But Jeff Wright still had a pretty good turns 1 and 2. Got a big run on Chad Klinger.
Eshanowski sideways off of turn 2. He loses a couple spots because of that, but now into 3 and 4. He's going to go back on offense.
Hodges hit the wall hard up there. He's going to keep it straight, but he actually did some pretty good damage to that right side.
He's still trying to hold on to it.
Oh, here comes Jeff Wright. He just wound up a huge run off of turn number 2. He's going to get to the inside of Chad Klinger, look for this race lead. These two are not only admin buddies, they're teammates. I don't know how hard Klinger's going to race him. It looked like it's not going to be too hard. Jeff Wright finally got back to the lead.
And since lap 52, Jeff Wright gets his 52nd lap wet. That's how long it's been. The cautions fell, and 40 laps ago, he couldn't get back to the lead because things kept changing. He's had to adapt and adapt and adapt. And that was kind of what happened to him in the next-gen series. But in this car, he's able to drive it a little bit better. And maybe that's opinionated, but I think Jeff Wright would agree he's better at this car than we saw last season.
I would say so. I mean, he showed season 1. He was the best in this car, you know, on the old model, no doubt. And so far, it doesn't seem like that much has changed. He's had the best long-run pace from the one long run that we saw. His big slide job, big crossover for second. Klinger's going to try to get that spot back, but there's no doubt he's showed this first real race as, you know, something, but first mile and a half race, he's shown he has that speed still. That was a big run through 4 for McWhorter to get the lead. Josh Adams a little sideways, keeps it straight. Here comes Joshua Banks. Not too long ago, he got a penalty for speeding. He's back up to 4th. Oh, Bryce Shoemaker. Oh, he saved it. I was about to mention how stacked up that pack is. I mean, you have about the top 8 pulling away from 9th on back. You got Stephen Davis, Jared Skinner all over each other. It looked like Skinner and Shoemaker just made contact with each other. Great save by the 54, but this pack is relentless right now. I mean, you got the first 8 separated, and then 9th to about 16th are just in a dogfight right now. Not done yet either. He got in here. He got probably a lot of drivers who've been involved in one thing or another. We got Jacob Locklear, 12. He had a big moment. Chuck Sweeting trying to get that 15th position away. Shanoski 13th. You got Angelo Horonis, who was in the backstretch melee, in 10th. You got Stephen Davis up to 9th. He had to take a lucky dog. Freeman Miller just got the 7th position away from Dakota Floyd. Oh, those two don't have the best of history, I don't think either. But it looked like, I think Adams, had a moment out of 4, tapped the wall a little bit. Not much Turner could do there. It was just really close, but he's got that position now. Chad Klinger, he's getting around the 0-9, or he's trying to for 4th. Never an easy pass, if you ask Bailey Turner. And it's still not going to be an easy pass. Klinger's going to keep it around his outside, try to hold up him for that 4th position. We've seen it all day, especially when the 48's been leading. He just cannot make that pass. And this is just another case of it as Turner kind of pulls the slide job into turn 1 to get Chad Klinger. Klinger back to that inside position, just can't make it. Once you get that positioning on the outside, you kind of have it as Klinger's going to lose another spot to Josh Adams. Saw McWhorter get pretty sideways with Joshua Banks heating up the rear bumper. Now that battle's going to be for second. That's going to let the 48 have some room. Yeah, definitely clutched it in a little bit there. I mean, he's one of those drivers. Yeah, he definitely did clutch into 3. I think if he has more room, he'll try to clutch, but if he lets Joshua Banks have any run on him, he's going to be tough to get that spot back. But now he's back to not clutching. Doesn't seem like many other drivers at the front are right now. Jeff Wright, another one of those drivers who pit on lap 85, same lap we saw George McWhorter pit on. I believe we saw Joshua Banks pit on that lap and maybe even a little later. So all these drivers, we did see a lot of drivers like Bailey Turner top off on lap 90. Same thing for Jeremy Miller and a few others. So I think there's some drivers here that can make it work. And I would think these drivers had been saving by now if it was that close. But I think that means either one of two things. They're either to the point where they think they can make it without clutching too much, or they're not trying to make it. We'll just have to find out what case that is, because if people have to pit, they're probably going to pit in about 20 laps or so as Banks is lighting up the bumper of Jeff Wright, trying to get him loosened up off the white line and have a look for the lead. Same thing he's been doing, can loosen him up, he can get to his inside, but once he gets to turn 1, if he's still on the inside of the 48, you just don't have the grip to compete with him, and Jeff Wright just able to rock it back away. And had that run been able to go a little longer, he would have stretched that lead even further. And it's just proving tough. I mean, the only way it seems like you're going to get by Jeff Wright and keep that lead is if you can get by him. You're probably going to have to muscle him out of the way a little bit. If you can get him, Banks can get him loose out of 4, he's going to have to kind of commit to a slide job in the 1 to get that pass done. He's just not able to do it that time. .48 got sideways a little bit too. Banks now is going to try the inside in turns 3 and 4 as Brandon Wallace lets the leaders by, but once again, just Banks with no grip on the white line. Attack from Benjamin Richards. That was a second yellow, yep. Yeah, that was a second yellow. First yellow is the big pileup out of turn 4. Malski still, I believe, has some damage, but not a horrible run going so far. Top 15 result kind of in play right now. As you can see, this field, probably the most spread out the field's been. A lot of that is because of how far the attrition rate's gone. We have 24 drivers left to lead lap, and in a few laps we'll probably only have 22 left as Philip Brewer and Eddie Trejo probably not too far away from getting lapped. As Banks still trying to work whatever line he can to get around this 48. He just does not have enough pace to really threaten Jeff Wright right now. Neither does Joseph McWhorter. He's kind of dropped off these two, and Bailey Turner kind of sitting there in fourth. Don't really know what pace he has. This is really the furthest up we've seen him all race. Oh, Chad Klinger. This is early. Lap 110. Chad Klinger's in the pit, so he knew he couldn't make it. Oh man, they just avoided Bryce Clusa. I think we got to remember, we didn't see the 09 hit at any point, lap 85 or lap 90. He definitely didn't top off lap 90, and I don't believe he pit on lap 85, so he had less fuel in the tank anyways. It's only going to get worse from here. It's the focus for me. I mean, he's got laser focus trying to figure out a way to get this 48. He's going to throttle up mid-corner, get that 48 sideways, loosen them up off the bottom, just like he's done a few times. But what does he do when he gets here? He hasn't been able to finish the pass in the turn number 1. I really think his only opportunity is just overdrive 1, try to clear the 48, and just hope. Oh, they're going to make contact. Huge hit. 48. 48's in the wall. Here comes McWhorter 3 wide, trying to get both of them. 48's going to send it into turn number 3, trying to clear them both, and he does. McWhorter's up the track. They're still pushing 3 wide as lap traffic is in the way. 48 keeps the lead. I don't think he was expecting that. I don't think Banks meant to do that either. Here comes Bailey Turner into the fight. Whew. Right there, that was right after it. I mean, I think Banks, I don't know if he was going to try to commit middle and hope the 48 backed out, but they both went for the middle line here. And you'll see Banks, he just doesn't turn in. He tries to take the middle lane up, and I think that, I don't know if that was his intention as he's back to the inside of Jeff right now, but he tried to force him up the track, and they just both went for the middle, made contact. And now live, Banks, I think he realized that's not going to work. He's just going to try the bottom again. He just doesn't have the grip, so I get what he was going for. He's trying to force Jeff Wright off his game, get him off that line a little bit, but he almost just wrecked them both. And we had 42 others. He looked to the right for 1 second and had a wiggle in the trial. That just shows how tough these cars are to drive. Eddie Trejo goes a lap down. Christopher Hodges kind of in the same boat. Hodges started 38th. He's up 21 positions. Belke's up 24 positions. Shinovsky's also up 24 positions. He went 37th or 13th so far, so I believe right now those are the biggest movers of the race. Jacob Locklear actually 23 positions himself, so he's had a good climb through the field, running 11th. Seen this move a lot. Drivers trying to get to the right rear in the tri-oval, but you don't have the grip to do that like you do. Even in the next gen car, that move is tough to do in the tri-oval, but in these Gen 4 cars, with all the wheel spin you have, with the extra horsepower, you can't just go up to the high side of the tri-oval and make it stick. You're going to hit the wall if you don't lift, and now he's going to go to the inside, use a little bit of side draft, try to get that move done with a big dive into 3. And you're going to see the 03 try to back up the corner, maybe try to cross him over, just can't do it. That was a good pass by Belke.
Ryan Chambliss can confirm. That one's on me. Sometimes I get excited. Bump the microphone, mute it.
top 3 have just pulled away from Bailey Turner. I wonder if Turner is trying to conserve anything at all. Don't hear him on the clutch. I still haven't heard really anyone at the front on the clutch in a long time, since the one time we saw Jeff Wright on it, as Banks had a big wiggle there. I think if you're short on fuel, you would have pit by now when Chad Klinger did, and I think these drivers it seems like they're pretty confident they can make it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're kind of committed to it. 20 to go.
I think a big indicator was also, I think if they weren't good on fuel, Banks is not trying to get Jeff Wright as aggressively as he is. This is definitely the race for the win. He's creeping back up to him as Jeff Wright's kind of moved up the track, and Banks going to try to get him aero loose again. Looking to be inside, has some clean air, and Wright kind of slipped up a little bit there. Didn't think Banks could get there, but just stayed clear of the 35. But what's this, same old song. Banks to the inside into turn 1. What can he do with it? He's going to go to the middle again, force Jeff Wright a little bit up the track.
Do they make another door tap off of 2?
Banks has to lift.
He just can't do it.
There's just nothing else he can do besides maybe try the top of the racetrack, but we haven't seen anyone really venture there. Now he's going to go to the middle, try to do maybe a little bit of a diamond out of turn 4 to get a run out of this corner, but he doesn't get a run doing that.
Yeah, he couldn't get back to the throttle, and there was a little bit of dirty air, I think, that stopped that. Jeff Wright has been defending to a perfection race. It's going to be another lap led. 82 now, most locked up for Jeff Wright. I don't think anybody else is touching this at this point. Can confirm it's past halfway. He's got it.
Meanwhile, he's going to have to deal with Chad Klinger unlapping himself. Klinger, one of the few drivers who didn't pit on lap 85 or lap 90. That's why he was short on fuel, so he's kind of ruined his own race without a flurry of cautions at some point. He's 22nd, trying to get back on the lead lap.
And he'll do that easily, but where do you end up after that? Do any of these other guys end up short on fuel? That's what Chad Klinger now has to rely on. He's gonna get up here and mix it up with these boys, though. He might create a situation for Jeff Wright, who's loose out of 4.
He doesn't need to create a situation. 48's loose on his own, and maybe that was a little bit of dirty air from Brandon Wallace, so I believe that will be a position. No, it will not be a position for Klinger, but he's gonna get in under a 35. Who he's finally moved up the high side. Maybe that was just to let Klinger by, but he did try the very top of the racetrack there. Now the 48 can end up kind of slow into turn number 3. Banks can take an opportunity, try to look to the inside, but just doesn't have anything doing.
$15 to go. Jeff Wright holds on to the lead. He's starting to pull away. This is about the time that we saw that long run speed from the 48 car. But I would love to see Joshua Banks take one more stab at it here. Bailey Turner back in the 4th position. He has Dakota Floyd to the inside. This battle for 4th tightens up. Floyd around. There he goes.
Yeah, I think Turner's just struggling with long run pace in this Gen 4 car right now. Just doesn't have what he needs, and kind of shown at the tail end of these long runs. We saw this on the one long run we had earlier. He just did not have the pace, and kind of the same thing right now. Just kind of faded off the top 3. Remember, he was right on top of him when they had their instant. He's lost about almost 2 seconds since then.
Jeremy Miller in 6th spot. Josh Adams in 7th. We can go a little bit deeper in the field with Noah Mahalski. Still behind Christopher Hodges. This is for 16th position. Hodges holding on to it. And I'm confused here, Chris. You had a driver camera as a crew chief for another driver in the Challenger, but I don't have a driver camera for you in the Cup. Explain that one.
Yeah, talk to him. This is probably the most spread out now that we've seen it all race. I mean, he's still got Banks driving hard to try to get to Jeff Wright. I mean, he almost walled it there, but he's driving hard. You got Bailey Turner kind of slipping back to Jeremy Miller, but he was faster than Miller last time by. Got Hronis, Sweeting, and Locklear in a trio battling for top 10s there. Yeah, Shinovsky, Shoemaker, kind of close to each other, but definitely most spread out. We've seen it all day long compared to what we saw earlier, especially on the restarts.
It's back down to just over a tenth there for the lead. I thought Banks was going to fall back, but he's back on it. Trying different lines.
And he's definitely searching. I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last stand, really. Just trying different lines, and he's in the wall a little bit. The top line, I thought that would come in a lot more, but it's just not there. There's not a lot of grip on corner exit. You can't get as big of a run as I anticipated. We see a lot of times in next gen that high line will really come in. Just not the case. The grooves really stayed on the bottom in the middle. He lost 0.3 of a second that lap, trying it. Adams and Miller have been bumper to bumper like this entire run. Chuck Sweeting making a move inside Angelo Horonas. That's for 9th, so Sweeting up into 9th. Horonas kind of scraped the wall. He might lose 10th to Jacob Locklear. Oh, Banks hit the wall pretty hard again. McWhorter's going to have a big run for the second spot. Banks tried blocking him, put him on the apron a little bit. McWhorter lifted out. Watch this. He gave him room. McWhorter we saw him clip that apron earlier and just have to lift out of it because you just lose so much grip doing that. This is exactly what Jeff Wright's needed. He's sailing at this point. How about Dakota Floyd, though? He has great pace right now. He's caught these two, actually.
Yeah, I think maybe top. He might get second away.
He might get interviewed at this rate as he just, I don't know what he did, but he's got a lot of pace in that car right now. Definitely had to have last pit lap 90 at the latest, but he's got a lot of grip. I mean, he pulled away from Turner big time.
Wow.
Look at this. Just a lot more grip in the center. Sliding. Slid it a little bit too much there. Oh, Josh Adams actually going to pit. He was 7th, so the 6th car couldn't make it on fuel either. And that wasn't even close.
Well, now that puts into question some of these guys that are in the top 10. Like Turner, like Floyd. Well, I think Floyd, 49 on the stint here. That's everybody in the top 5.
That's tight for second. I think Floyd might have second this time. He had to lift a little bit. I think McWhorter's just low on grip, so Dakota Floyd up to 3rd. Not quite. Now he's got it. This is definitely the biggest lead we've seen all race, about 1.4 seconds from Wright to Banks. There goes Floyd. He's just able to gas it up in the center. I mean, look at that. That is unbelievable.
Jeff Wright, 1.3 seconds ahead with 5 laps to go. And Dakota Floyd looks like a rocket ship here in the closing laps. I don't think he's going to catch up to Jeff Wright, but he's definitely going to get a podium finish if we can seal the deal here. Close battle here with Chuck Sweeting just behind Jeremy Miller. I think some of these guys were relying.
Caution!
And
Caution's
that
out.
changes everything.
Caution is out, and I don't see who it's for. I do not see a car spun.
I know who it is.
Who would it be? Would it be the 60? Oh yeah, it is. Oh, that's a screen freeze. That's a wheel turning off. That's something. Wow, that was a hard hit. But Miller is thankful he turned it dead left. Wow. And that completely changes things. Yeah, Floyd, I don't think he was going to get the Jeff Wright, but I was about to say, I bet he wishes there was 5 extra laps, and we might get extra laps, but all these drivers are going to have to get extra tires if they have a set left. We don't know who has tires left.
Dakota Floyd should have a podium here. with the drive he had. We were approaching the white flag, and the 57 car just passed the top 3. I don't think he was catching Jeff Wright, but now Jeff Wright has to defend. This race is just surprise after surprise.
You got 2 tires in play now.
I wouldn't chance it in this car. I don't think I would chance it.
Oh, I thought Jeff missed his box for a second. Just how desperate are these drivers, maybe? I mean, who knows? I don't think you could do 2 tires on this car either, but you just don't know. As
Jeff Wright
it looks
did
like
it.
Jeff Wright did, and it looks like Jeremy Miller did. But those are looking to be maybe the only 2 cars to do it. Looks like McWhorter beat out Dakota Floyd, and Joshua Banks is nowhere to be seen.
35 car of Joshua Banks missed his box.
That didn't even look like he missed his box looking back on the replay. If he missed his box, it was by the tiniest of margins. And all that track position, the top 3 years old, almost certainly gone. But this is going to be sketchy on a restart for 2 tires. Let's watch this. I mean, he's
there.
I mean, he's in his box. If that's over the line, I mean, that's just bad luck. See if his car jolts backwards at all.
There's no service on this. Oh, he didn't have tires checked.
Wow, that would be... Oh, you know what? That's probably because he was not sure on fuel, so he unchecked his tires in case he had the top off under green, and he never checked them back. That's my best guess. That's the only thing I could think of happening there.
No tires checked, and then come down pit road. You check them after you hit your box. They will still do the service, but first they start fueling up the car. Then you tell them you want tires, and it's a delay.
That's been a roller coaster day for Banks. He's been to the front, to the back, back to the front. Now he's going to have to come from 16th position on this restart.
He'll get a top 10 if nothing happens, but I think something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
It's a matter of what.
And Jeremy Miller here to contest the lead.
Yeah, both the front row drivers on 2 tires. I just worry about what the launch is going to be like on those tires that are 50-plus laps old. And who knows, you know, taking a certain amount of fuel comes into play as well on whether the car's balance is tight or loose. I mean, I really like the guys on 4 tires. I like 4 tires here a lot. I like where McWhorter and Floyd are, but I mean, if these 2 don't go, anything can happen. Jacob Locklear's in 6th. What a moment this could be for him. And we know Bailey Turner's luck, so him being 7th, he's not out of the equation either.
8 cautions, 9 lead changes, 3 to go, and we have 3 green-white checkers available. First of those coming right now. Overtime at Vegas.
It's actually a pretty good launch for both of them. Jeff Wright's able to get away. McWhorter's probably going to get the second here unless Miller can hang on his right rear, which he can. Pretty good grip. Had a turn 2. Already working a lot better than I thought it would.
Got to hold on to it for one more lap. Jeff Wright going to take the white flag this time by side for second position. Wow, it worked a lot better than I thought it would too, Connor. 30 on the outside. McWhorter's going to snag away the position, but here comes the 57 of Dakota Floyd with a head of steam.
McWhorter needed to clear him earlier, just too little too late, and Miller's still going to get to his inside.
And here we come out of turn 4. Let's watch the outside run for the 57. Can he get to a podium finish? He'll make contact, and it's not enough. Jeff Wright is going to get the win with 2 tires on the call. Dakota Floyd, 0.04 of a second short of third, and Joseph McWhorter gets by for second. The proper car won this race with 101 laps led.
I learned something about the Gen 4 car, I guess. I did not think that was going to be a good call, but those 2 tires for both drivers hung on pretty much like 4 tires. That clean air definitely helped a little bit, and Jeff Wright's back in victory lane for the first time since last season. First time all the way back to Richmond in April.
But the day that he had, electricity was out for most of the afternoon, all the way from like 4 or 5 a.m. He had no power. He missed the Challenger Series commentary. He gets out on the racetrack, starts on the pole by 9/1000ths of a second, and he makes a 2-tire call to win the race. How about that for Jeff Wright? Congratulations to him. We have post-race interviews with your top 3. Those final race results coming up here from Las Vegas. You are watching the Saturday Night Racing League live on VSPEED. Connor Horn, Bradley Cooper, back with more after this. To Josh Adams.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes Build Events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Saturday Night Racing League. Coverage has been great. It was eventful. We had plenty of lead changes, plenty of cautions to shake this race up, and week number 2 did not disappoint at all. Race recap on the top of your screen. 8 cautions, 9 lead changes, and Jeff Wright finds his way back to the top spot and even made a 2-tire call. I don't think he needed to do that. I think he could have won it either way, but it was a close one. Either way, final results up on your screen. Jeff Wright starting from the pole. Joseph McWhorter gains 12 positions to get up here to second spot. Jeremy Miller, Dakota Floyd, the top 5 with Chuck Sweeting. and Floyd only 4 or 5/100ths of a second behind Jeremy Miller. Made heavy contact out of turn 4 at that finish line. Bailey Turner will finish in the 6th spot. Jacob Locklear will finish in 7th. Bryce Shoemaker on top 10. Chad Klinger 9th. Nick Hapiak rounding out the top 10. Connor, take it away.
Yeah, Miller Floyd, like you said, they had contact for 3rd. Miller just maybe using him up a little bit, but either way, he gets the 3rd place finish. Matt Shanoski, 11th place for him. He goes up 26 positions, just one short of what Jacob Locklear did. I believe Locklear gained 27 positions. Coronas 12th, Banks 13th. You'll be disappointed with that. Same for AJ Stravato. He got damaged in the big crash down the back. He could never recover. Brian Carwell 15th. Jared Skinner was involved in a few incidents. He still gets 16th place out of the day. Austin Belke, he earns 23 positions, gains 23 positions, I should say. 17th for him. Poor Josh Adams ran out of fuel, 7 to go. Then the yellow came out. He got the lucky dog, but only 18th for him. Kenny Kibbe battled with damage, 19th. Christopher Hodges, 20th place.
21st goes to Noah Mahalski. Tough day for him in the 03. Brandon Wallace in 22nd. Eddie Trejo 23rd. Elliott Butler will finish in 24th with Philip Brewer, a car that started in the front row. He'll finish in 25th. Ray Massey, Clark Print Shop 23, back in 26th. Stephon Davis 27th. These cars, just a lot of laps down here from 22nd on down. You have Kaluska in 28th, Ben Latter in 29th, Donnie Kite in 30th.
And at the back half is where a lot of the early attrition happened. Keith Shoemaker, 31st. J.R. Shepard, 32nd. Ortega, who was top 5 early, 33rd, crashed out with Ben Laughter. Andy Telganoff, 34th. Benjamin Richards, 35th. Hunter Sr., he had a lot of problems tonight, not of his doing. 36th place for him. Max Koss was involved in the very first crash. Still a series leading. It leads the series in total starts in series history. 37th place, though, tonight. Kyle Peacock, 38th. Ethan Collier, 39th. And Lucas Lyons involved in that first crash with Elliott Butler as well. 40th for him. Kyle Topp, 41st. Rob Denton, 42nd. And that was everyone who started this race. Michael Muncy and Matt Dominique did not start this race.
So now it's time to take you down to Victory Lane, where Connor Horn has been hustling. He's down there with the winner of week number 2, Jeff Wright, here at Las Vegas. Connor Horn, I think Jeff Wright is going to be a little bit happier with the way this season 5 has started out.
I think he's going to be a lot happier because of the car. Gen 4, he's proven he's pretty fast in it. Jeff led 101 laps of, I believe, 141. You dominated this one. You had clean air for a lot of this race, but it got hairy, green, white checkers. We know you don't like to see him, especially after what we saw last season at Auto Club, but you kind of risked it with the 2 tires. Take me through the process of making that call, because we were in the booth not thinking it was going to work.
Yeah, I've just seen this story unfold a few times, and you hate to see a late race caution like that, especially when you feel like you got it in the bag. We just got to log a few more laps, and then the yellow flies, and then anything can happen. And I just feel like in this scenario before, I've been beat by not taking 2 tires, and so I usually don't do that, but I wanted to make sure that I was going to be the control car here on this restart. I wasn't really sure how the car was going to handle, but man, it just hung on just enough. I think one more lap there would have been in trouble there with Mick Horter on 4 tires. But yeah, happy to be back in the Gen 4. Like you mentioned, this is a car I really enjoy. It's different than the other car, but I feel like I've caught on a little bit to how this thing drives, and qualifying on the pole too. I mean, having the clean air from the start was a huge help too. So yeah, we had some things go our way tonight. Super fortunate for that, and just happy to get that checkered flag there, especially with that late yellow flying.
Yeah, fought off the late yellow, but you fought off a lot of battles, really, from the 35 of Joshua Banks in particular. We saw you keep clean air all night long, and when the long run happened, you just eventually started pulling away. How tough was it keeping Banks behind you? Because he challenged, but he just couldn't make that pass. It seemed you were playing the air really well.
Oh man, yeah. Banks, I mean, he was just really good there. I think it was clear that he was probably better than me through that part of the race, but you're right. I just kind of had to play the air game. He was so much better on corner entry. I mean, he just would get to my bumper every single corner, and then, kind of loosen me up a little bit. And I was just kind of trying to find a way to enter the corner to where, I could, cross down in front of him, maybe make him push a little bit. And then there towards the end, I think it worked. I think, just the dirty air eventually started to kind of show the advantage, for me at least, being, in the clean air. And then, we were saving a little bit of fuel through that stage, but it's really hard to save fuel when you got Joshua Banks behind you, that's for sure. And we were going to be really close. It looked like we're about half a lap to the good there. So really didn't want that yellow to fly. And I knew Dakota Floyd was coming quick, but I thought we were going to have enough time to where I didn't think he was going to catch me by the time the checkered flag flew. But yeah, just a lot went on there at the end, and I'm just stoked to get one here at Vegas. This is an awesome racetrack, one of my favorite racetracks, and pair it with a car like the Gen 4 with all this horsepower and turning these high RPMs. This is so much fun, and just happy to close this one out.
They close this one out. You've had some bad luck here, but overall, this is your third win at Las Vegas. Second one in a Gen 4 car if you go back to season 1. So another dominating result for you. Congrats on that. Anyone else you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, I just want to thank a couple guys I see in the chat real quick with the congratulations. I see Caleb Weekly. I got my brother in the chat as well, a few others. And just thank you to all the co-league admins, for, everything they do, putting on this series. Reggie Ortega doing the race control tonight for the Challenger Series. Chad normally doing that for us. And it's a team effort, and I'm just really thankful for all those guys to help put this thing together. And obviously VSPEED, we got the best broadcast crew in the business with you and Bradley Cooper up in the booth every single Saturday night. So thank you to you guys. And then also our great sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. M&J Distributors, Joshua Banks, he does so much for us. And we can't ever thank him enough. And same thing with, Walk and Roll and Costumes, Clark Print Shop, Juicy Spider, a few others. If I'm missing one, I apologize. But it takes a lot of people to make this thing happen. And we certainly got a great group.
A great group indeed, and not only your third win at Vegas, but your 16th win in Saturday Night Racing League overall, extending the all-time mark by 3 over Bailey Turner. Congrats on another win, Jeff. Thanks for talking to us. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Connor.
Race winner here, Jeff Wright. A lot to say here about the new car, and I wanted to just chime in there for a second, Connor. I resisted the urge, but he said a lot of things went right for him here tonight. I think the one that went right for him the most was he had his electricity back, he had his internet back, and he was even able to make it to the race tonight.
Hey, definitely got fortunate with that. We've seen his internet actually take him out of some other victories, so definitely got one back from his internet provider, and his just his internet provider has kind of been giving him demons a lot of the time. Ever since I started racing with him, probably over 5-6 years ago, he's had internet issues, so held on tonight.
Congratulations to him, but now it's time to talk to our second place driver, Joseph McWhorter, in the number 73. And Joseph, going back to the start of this race, it was, gain positions quickly. You worked your way up to the top 5. You were one of those cars that definitely had the mid-run speed, but let's throw that all out the window and have a late race restart where you take 4 tires and the top 2 don't.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that. I really thought that it was going to be just 4 tires all the way up and down the line, but we took 4. I felt like it was the right call because I was afraid of being way, way, way too loose. And then I just tried my best to try and get as good of a restart on Jeff as I possibly could. I did okay. I could have done better. I kind of gave up way too much room to Jeff on that restart. I feel like I maybe could have cleared Miller on that restart, but I really just wanted to clear Miller, and I didn't do a very good job of that, but that's okay. He did a great job staying on my quarter panel with only 2 tires. So, big shout out to him for doing that and keeping us honest there those last couple laps. And, the biggest thing is getting the momentum pointed in the right direction. It's good to be in a car that's difficult in the right ways. It's just good being back in a fun car again. I'm really looking forward to the season. This is a big boost after last week. So, I'm just I'm tired. Today's been quite the day. I've been go-karting and went up to St. Louis and then had to haul ass back home. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but it's been a day.
Well, you've been go-karting, and it kind of showed here tonight because this car handled a lot like that, especially on the tri-oval. We saw you touch the apron a couple times tonight and had to kind of apply those rules.
That scared the crap out of me because I didn't think I didn't even realize I clipped it and I just had a huge tank slapper there down this front stretch, and I'm like, oh god, here we go. This is just going to be my season for the rest of the time. But I caught it and kept it going. I had a couple of close calls tonight where either I messed up or I had to miss something in front of me that was pretty wild. But I just tried my best to just stay patient and try and work my way up, because I was dealing with being a little bit tight on entry and kind of loose off. And I think a lot of people were having the same issue and didn't qualify very good, and that just kind of made things a little bit worse. But I think the biggest thing that helped us in this race was that caution that kind of caught a lot of people out in the pit cycle, and luckily worked out for us really well, and we were able to keep that track position for the rest of the race.
Finally, Joseph, I gotta ask, there's a lot of people that support you. I know Red Camel Racing and the setups, and we even had shout outs to you over in the Challenger series from guys. Go ahead and thank the people that put the 73 car on the podium tonight.
Yeah, first off, I want to congratulate my driver, Jordan Trask, on his win tonight. I'm really proud of how those guys ran tonight. Jordan getting a win, Judson in the top 10, Dabney learning. I wasn't able to be there to help because I was really in a hurry to try and get home, so I didn't really make it in time for their race, but really proud of those guys. Those guys have been just soaking up any information that I can give them. So big shout outs to all those guys, all the guys in the Challenger series. Yeah, I want to thank Red Camel Racing. Like you said, they've been an amazing partner of mine. They've got amazing equipment that I get to use in real life. So go check them out at redcamelracing.com. 29 Graphics for the beautiful paint scheme you get to see each and every week. Go check them out at 29 Graphics on Trading Paints. Outlier Speed Code. Go check us out on our new website, outlierspeedcode.com. I don't know if we have any deals going on right now, but $30 for a month of setup. So go check them out. You guys for putting on the broadcast, of course. It's been a very long time since I talked to you guys.
Yeah, that season 4 was a long one, huh?
I know. Yeah, I haven't talked to you guys since I don't think season 3. I think so. Good getting to talk with you guys. Great job to all the drivers tonight, and looking forward to a little bit of a break and then getting into one of my favorite tracks at Auto Club.
All right. Well, it's going to be August 30th when we go to Auto Club. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm talking to you guys at Auto Club too.
Yep. I think you will.
I hope so.
Joseph McWhorter, second place here at Las Vegas. He picks up his second week in the recovery. Great run for him. We'll move on to our third place finisher now. It's Jeremy Miller, and I think Connor Horn has caught up with the driver of the number 30.
I have got Jeremy Miller. Third place, didn't lead any laps, but ends up getting a third place finish out of the day. There's a lot of things that happened to you the entire race. We saw you at the start at the front, then you slipped to the back, got caught a lap down, got caught up in a few incidents, and then take 2 tires on the final restart to get third. But that doesn't even describe the entire day. You had so many things not go your way.
Yeah, it all really started because Bailey Turner is a chump. I mean, we run him clean every week, and he just flat out dumps us on purpose on lap 34 of the race. So he wants to complain about everybody else, but he's the one that drives like a little prick. I'm gonna bust his ass.
And you guys are in the same Discord, so that's hilarious that you said that. But I did see that. I remember that happening. But I think you slipped up the track in that situation. No, I'm just kidding. But you got caught a lap down, I think, when Benjamin Richards and Mahalski got in a little bit of trouble, and that was pretty tough to battle back from. And how much did you have to drive that car to get back to the front because you were in a hole?
Yeah, choking aside of Bailey, we got the worst timed yellow of my entire life on iRacing. I was halfway down pit road in my box, and then I was like, oh crap, well, maybe if I speed, I'll beat the leader out, and I started speeding to try to do that. And that didn't work, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm just going to take the tires, but the speeding gave me the EL, so then I couldn't take the wave around. And then the next restart, I get stuck behind somebody that lifted really hard on the exit of a corner and get passed by the 7 right as they wreck, and then he gets a lucky dog. Fortunately, they then wrecked again. We came down, took tires on that caution when I got the lucky dog. And then they wreck again a few laps later, and the whole field pits, but I stay out because I just pit, and I'm short on fuel. We're all good on fuel, and then we get another yellow like 5 laps later, so came down, took the fuel there, and was hanging on around like 6th, 7th most of the end of that run. Not a top 3 car, but got that late yellow with whatever happened with the 60 there while he was battling us and capitalized on a 2-tire call.
Looked like the 60 had a computer issue because he just turned dead left. But I was going to ask you about the two-tire call as well. It seemed like Jeff Wright was also kind of unsure of it. His reasoning was that he just has lost too many races not taking two tires. But I learned that two tires works in this car. I wasn't expecting it to work. Clearly, you must have been. But were you shocked how well it fired off?
No, because I short fueled it, so I knew it'd be a little bit freer, but I didn't put much fuel in the car to counteract that, and I figured just 2 laps could lean on the rights hard enough, and that's what I did. And Jeff had the clean air out in the lead with 2. He launched. He was going to win the race. I think we could have done the same thing in that spot, but unfortunately, he made the right call, so we didn't get that opportunity. Just had the battle Joseph side by side, and then Dakota the line. We had a good, clean, hard race. And I just got to say, Dakota Floyd is going to win a race. That was the most impressive drive I've ever seen out of him. He was absolutely wheeling on that long run at the end there, and I don't know if he was going to get the Jeff, but he was possibly going to have a chance of how much faster he was than everyone.
Yeah, he was definitely fast in a 4th place for him, but a good run for you. I don't remember you winning at Kansas season 3. I'm not sure if you've had a top 5 since then, so congrats on that. Good start to your season. Besides, they still got a decent finish at Daytona, but this is another race to get you on the right foot, so congrats on that. I know you're uncharted, but still see what else you can do rest of the season. Anyone else you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, 609 Motorsports. We got I can't remember the guy's name, but pretty good team owner over there. And then Matt Tomoleri puts all of those paints together for us. Connor Horn, that's the team owner. That's the team owner on the car. Just pulled that one out there. So hopefully that's a good finish for you, and you're happy with that. Not that we're really running this league too seriously like we do on Mondays and other nights throughout the week, but always fun to represent the brand.
Well, good two-tire call. Got you P3. Congrats on that, Jeremy. Thanks for the shout-out. Thanks for talking to us. See you in 3 weeks' time, maybe.
Thank you.
Yes, he was, I believe, joking with Bailey, and I was not ready for him to do that. I was not ready for him to do that. That was funny. They're in the same Discord for the races, so I know that's a joke.
We get so many here on VSPEED, so many swear words and asterisks, and it's set for not adults. We try to run a family show, but I can promise you that these drivers do let their emotions run high, and that's not the first time that's been said here on the channel. So if anybody had a problem with it, yeah, it's not going to be the last.
Definitely not, but definitely a good race overall. I mean, just to get the final thoughts in there, we saw a pretty good race, and we didn't really see a single driver that could really get past Jeff Wright, as we do have to know Jacob Locklear, Clark Prinshaw, biggest mover award. It did end up being him, 34th up to the 7th position. Really good run for him. I don't believe he's chartered either, so a few good runs for some chartered drivers. He's about the 3rd or 4th Taco Bell car in the field, and he gets the best of the rest, because I believe Reggie Ortega and Elliot Butler, or Reggie was in a Taco Bell car last week, not this week, but he is the supreme Taco Bell car this week, up 27 positions, so good on him.
Got that Crunch Wrap Supreme there with the 84 of Jacob Locklear. Congratulations to him on 27 positions gained. And that's pretty much going to conclude our coverage here. And we've got a little vacation coming up here, Connor. I know that Vegas was fun, but we got to wait a long time here to go back racing. We're talking about 3 weeks' time when we go to Auto Club.
Yeah, we go to Auto Club. We have off weeks mainly because NASCAR's racing Saturday night the past 2 weeks. So we got to wait to get our turn back before we get back to Auto Club. You remember last season's race, how crazy that was. We'll be, I believe, at Atlanta for the other series, for the Challenger Series, and that one should be interesting. And that's, I believe, Old Atlanta, not Echo Park, and we will not call it Echo Park, unironically.
It could be.
But yeah.
It could be. I don't know. We'll look at the schedule. I think it could be Echo Park, Connor. I don't know 100% for certain, but I put Atlanta just because I don't believe in it.
We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, it's going to be a fun race in those cars in Auto Club. You remember how crazy that race was last season. Jeff Wright, a few hundred feet from the victory. Caution comes out. Everything goes crazy. Bailey Turner stole that one. He ended up winning 4 in a row to start the season. Not the case this season. Jeff Wright back with a vengeance in his next-gen car. So, and I think in his Gen 4 car, this might be one of the best car track combos that this Auto Club racetrack has to offer. We should see every groove being...
Yeah, we saw a lot of grooves being used here in Vegas that we normally don't see. And the bottom was working to a T. The middle line was able to defend the outside. There's a lot going on here. If you enjoyed tonight's action, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a single race, as we have flag-to-flag coverage all season long for both the Challenger Series and the Cup Series. Connor Horn, Bradley Cooper, we're back here for season number 5. 4 different champions, now in 5 seasons as we start off week number 3, August 30th at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, for Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, Logan Threlkeld, Lucas Lyons. Who else we got producing? I think Daniel Cunningham's in the broadcast booth now. Connor, you've been up here for 5 seasons. It's been insane. I've enjoyed every bit of it. Connor, I got to tell you, man, we need to get you on more shows. You do a fantastic job.
I'm trying, man.
Doing a great job. Well, for everybody else that I might have missed, this is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Las Vegas. And thank you to all the sponsors. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time, August 30th at Auto Club. And stay tracking, everybody.